You just tuned it in.
Global and worldwide.
Hitting you on the one with no delay. Because it's the Fighter's Voice.
The Fighter's Voice.
With your fighting host, Richard Ortiz.
And the formidable co-host,
Mr. Cole Escobedo. Remember, every fighter has a voice.
Fresno, California, we're live here in Mad Production Studios. We got a great show for you today. We're going to be talking about some topics in the boxing world. We're going to do some recap in the UFC MMA world and some of those close, controversial fights that took place. And sometimes Mike, who's my co-host, Mr. Mike Rutha, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Sometimes the co-host, the co-host, you can kind of say that, the co-main event outlives the main event.
Oh, definitely, especially this past Saturday.
Exactly, and we're talking about, and you know, when they mention the women's division, I don't want them to say women's division anymore. Just say division. I mean, do we say men's division? You know what I mean? I mean, I say that, I go to bat because my daughter is a woman. She's a young woman.
I have a daughter as well, so I feel you there.
Exactly, and being that said, and this isn't the old days, man, the caveman days where you grab her by the hair.
Yeah.
Because she'll turn around and grab you by your balls and kick your ass.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about, we got a kick-ass guest today who
Definitely.
doesn't take anything from anybody. She's driven. She's aligned to what she wants to do. She walked away from a money bag of a job as I believe, a mechanic engineer to go after her passion. To tell you, as if to say, to come home and say, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Exactly.
Someone that has a passion for the sweet science of boxing. I mean, I can go on, but ladies and gentlemen, and I want to say welcome to the show, Raging Babe. Is that okay, or should I call you by your full name, Michelle?
No, Raging Babe is good. For short, you can call me RB.
RB.
RB?
That's what everybody on
Yeah.
Twitter calls her.
RB.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm hearing you don't live up to all the hype and expectation. I'm hearing you're a fighter. You don't take junk from nobody. My mic is off. You don't take junk from nobody. Just like when my mic comes off, I put it back on because I'm going to fight for what I believe in. Now it's blasting in my ear. But let's just cut right through it. As a promoter, as someone involved in the sweet science, how did you walk away from a money bag job to chase your passion? Was it a tough decision? Was it something overnight, or was it just something that was drawn out?
It definitely wasn't overnight. I was juggling my engineering career and boxing for about 5 years, and it just came to the point where it got too hard to juggle both, and I had to make a decision, pursue my dream, pursue my passion, or let it go, because that's at the point where I was at, where it was just too consuming, and I had no life, and I wasn't sleeping, and it was just really hard working pretty much like 2 full-time jobs, and boxing is very, very demanding, and if you really want to be in the industry, you have to dedicate your all to it. So I made the decision. It really wasn't a hard decision. It was a matter of it being the right time. I wanted to save enough money where I'd be comfortable on a rainy day, where I knew that if I had to invest some money into a show or into my brand, that I could still pay my mortgage, So it was just more about timing.
Wow, I mean, that sums it up right there. That's pretty daring right there. That's a risk taker. Mike, when you hear that, and we always hear these even these fighters today, you ready to fight? I need more time in training camp. I got too much to cut weight. You got to be ready in season and out of season. And when her opportunity came, man, she ran with it.
She took it, and honestly, like I told her last week, she's one of the queens of the sport, and I truly believe that because she knows what she's doing. And like I've told her before, she's inspired me to do what I do. So
did you say one of the queens of the sport?
Oh,
there's a lot of reinas up in here.
I don't know, but she's one of the queens, definitely, hands down.
I heard she's bad. That's what I've been
she's
hearing.
badass, man.
Michelle, or Raging Babe, when you hear that title, how does that make you feel?
I always just kind of smile, and I'm just really humble about it because I don't see the big deal that a lot of people make over me or about me. I just feel like I'm a hard worker, and I'm doing something I love, and I want to do it the right way, and I want to do the right things. And, I think just people are seeing that, and they just respect that. And all I could do is kind of, blush and smile because I just feel like I'm just trying to do the right thing. I'm just doing my job.
What tell us about the promotion company that you're running? What your job title is, and when it becomes making a fight in Fight Week, what does it consist of?
Well, Raging Babe is my company, and so it's my promoter's license, my insurance, my liability, my bond, everything is under the Raging Babe banner. And Russell Pelt is my matchmaker, the legendary Russell Pelt, who I came up under. And so now he's making all the matches for me. And pretty much we just look at the landscape of the city that we're doing the show in, and we like to work with reliable fighters. That doesn't always mean that they're the best fighters in the city,
right?
But we want to work with guys who are reliable and who want to fight and who are going to come to fight. And so we're really selective in that way. We don't really care about records. You know, we care more about making good fights. The fans are paying good money, and their hard-earned money to come to a show. And I feel like they're entitled to watch, you know, competitive fights. So that's kind of what we do. And a lot of the guys in Philly actually want to fight on our card. You know, they know the publicity they're going to get. They know the type of promotion that they're going to receive. They know that we're straight up and down. You know, nobody's going to steal from them or lie from them or do them dirty. So matchmaking is hard, but on our shows, we got a lot of guys in Philly who just want to fight. So that's nice.
You know, I'm hearing this story, Mike, and this promoter is a fighter's dream. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be the 25-0 with 25 knockouts. You don't have to be the fighter that when you pass by, your name is on 50 billboards. You are a fighter. You may not get the opportunity or break, but you're going to know that you are going to fight. Yep. And when you fight, doors open. And it's not about the record. It's about your heart, your desire, and how you handle yourself. We need more promoters like Michelle in this industry, not just in Philly. We need to bring her to the Old Town, Fresno, California.
Right, you need to bring her over.
Well, Rick Merigian is doing a great job in Fresno. I mean, for him to sell out the way he does with Ramirez, you know, that's pretty incredible. And I don't know if the people in the boxing world or even in Fresno understand how hard that is. I mean, the way that he works, he's a monster. And I'm friends with Rick. We talk every once in a while. We give each other a call. We give each other pep talks. But, you know, he's doing a really great job out there.
You know what? Hey, if you can learn from the Land Shark himself, I mean, you're really taking a good choice of learning. No, Rick is an ambassador when it comes to the sport of promotion, especially boxing in Fresno, California. The blue script is there, but that doesn't mean that everybody can do it. Mike, I can slam dunk a basketball, but until they lower the rim like 6-7 feet, it's not going to happen. So you can say you can do this and do that, but at the end of the day, it does take work, and it does take performance, and it does take your fighters also being consistent with the contracts, agreement, weight, settlement, negotiations. There's a lot that goes involved in that. And Michelle, I'm listening to your voice, and I can just know I would love to be a fly on the wall during those conversations because taking the advice of Rick Merigian, it's once in a lifetime opportunity because he doesn't speak twice on the same thing. Either you take it and you don't. And I've seen him get upset. Like I try to give this person advice, they don't want to take it, so they can stay.
I've seen it with fighters.
Exactly, they can stay in the same place. So,
and speaking of that, Michelle, there's a story behind your main event for your upcoming fight, the Philly Special, right? From what we've heard, it was hard to get that main event done, but you did it, right?
Yeah, you know, it was a fight that I think other people in Philly have tried to make in the past.
Pull that post up again. There you go.
It's Stevie Ortiz versus Damon Allen. Back in the day, Philly versus Philly fights is what made Philly the fight town that it is. And Philly versus Philly has produced some of the best fight nights in boxing in the city. You know, Briscoe Hart, Jeff Chandler, Johnny Carter, Georgie Benton, Joe Giardello. I mean, I can go on and on. Gabe Rosado and Pooh Ennis. So Philly versus Philly has always been the recipe. However, over the past several years, a lot of Philly guys just don't want to fight each other anymore. You know, it's a brotherhood. Oh, we're friends. Oh, we came up in the amateurs together. But sometimes out here in Philly, to take that next step, you got to fight another Philly guy. And that's where Stevie Ortiz and Damon Allen are today, where the fight finally made sense for the both of them because they were both kind of floundering, okay? And it was a fight that had been tried to have been made before, and they didn't want it. And so when this show came up, I said, what about Stevie Ortiz, Damon Allen? And Russell Peltz told me, forget about it. Don't waste your time. Just move on. And I talked to Lou DiBella about it, and he's like, what? I said, you know what? How about both of you guys just stay out of it and let me try to make it? You know, I've learned from some of the best, you know, which is like Russell. And I did. I reached out to both teams, and Russell and DiBella stayed out of it. They let me do my thing. I spoke to both management teams. I spoke to the fighters. You know, what would make it significant? What are you looking for in a purse? How can we make this meaningful? And when all those things come together, a fighter is happy, and they'll take the fight. So they got the purse they wanted. They got the amount of rounds that they wanted. It's for the Pennsylvania state title and the vacant USBC title, which the winner of this fight will probably break into the top 15 or the top 20 rankings. You know, they will probably get ranked, you know, in the WBA or the WBO. So it just was the right fight to make at the right time. And once, you know, we figured that out, neither side batted an eye. They just agreed, they signed the contract, and that was it. And Russell was floored, DiBella was floored. I mean, they just couldn't believe I got it done. But that's a good negotiation. When everybody walks away happy, then you know you did good business. But you don't ever want to walk away and one fighter is bitter, the other guy's not happy, the promoter's going to lose money. That's not a win-win. You know, it's a win-win when everybody walks away happy.
I'm listening to a female Rick Meridian over here.
I'm telling you.
I mean, she just has like that instinct, and sometimes it takes a woman to do that job. Sometimes a man isn't equipped to because of his attitude or what he brings to that negotiation table or the rolling of the eyes. Sometimes you just need to check yourself in the mirror, leave your ego at the door, and get stuff done. And it sounded like you took care of it, got it done. Mike, I want to go to that fight. Where is it at? Philadelphia?
Yeah.
It's in Philly.
And she got a TV deal for that one as well. So that's big. That's big time, man. Impact Network. That's on. I believe that's on almost all the carriers of TV right there.
There you go. That's a big deal for you. I mean, congratulations on getting that done.
That was such a blessing. It was unexpected. You know, I knew that the main event was TV worthy. This show should be like a showbox card. And I did reach out to Showtime, and although they were interested because they liked it, they have a championship boxing card the next night, so they couldn't do a showbox, you know, the night before. I reached out to ESPN Plus. I reached out to The Zone. And then DiBella said to me, why don't we call Impact? You know, they just did that show with Austin Trout like a month or two ago. You know, maybe they'd be interested. And he reached out. He made the connection. He believed in the fight. He believed in the show. He believes in me. And DiBella was the one that really got, you know, everything stirred up. And it all worked out. And, well, it wasn't that easy. You know, Impact usually does shows Saturday nights. I had to beg them to put this on a Friday night, and they agreed. So it worked out. So this is great. And I'm happy for Stevie Ortiz and Damon Allen that they're going to get the showcase on TV.
Well, hey, Philly against Philly.
Yep, and then the trainers on there. Those are top of the line trainers as well. Bomax on there. So you're gonna love it.
You know what's funny? They have a little rivalry going on now where, you know,
that's always
Tino's
healthy.
like, I want to face the best trainers. You know, Bomac's going to be across from me, but I know I'm going to have the better game plan. I know I got the better fighter. And then you got Bomac in Omaha saying, you know, Damon Allen's going to come in shape to knock out Stevie Ortiz, and it's not going to be as good as a fight as people in Philly are saying. You could bet the house on it. Yeah. So Chino's like, oh, really? Bet the house? What are we betting? So the trainers right now have this little feud back and forth. I mean, this is the fight to watch, to be at. You know, like if you're in the Philly area, you have to be in the building. If you're not, then Friday night, March 27th, you have to watch on Impact. There's no other boxing that night. There's no Telemundo. There's no Showbox. There's no ESPN. We are the only show that'll be televised that night. So order some wings, make some popcorn, get some beer, and check your local cable listings because you probably have Impact. You probably just don't know it. Or you could download the app for free, or you could watch online on their website for free. So there's no excuses. Everybody can watch. Impact is accessible to everybody.
You know who you remind me of? And Kelly Swanson. I've had her on the show before, and just that drive and just that command, just that presence. I'm sure you know who she is and what she does, and it's just, you know what, bro? This is no longer a male-dominated sport behind the scenes about the industry. I mean, I'm talking about it's even across the board, 50-50, right across the board. Anybody that says different, they're ignorant or they're stuck in their old ways, or they're cheating themselves of the opportunity to let a woman drive their career, so to speak. Lead their career is what I'm looking for. Listen, I want to ask you this, okay? Let's change it up just a bit. What was your whole take on Mikey Garcia and Jesse Vargas, and where do you see Mikey going from here, and where do you see Jesse Vargas going from here?
Well, Mikey can pretty much do whatever the heck he wants to do. I call him the Teflon Don of boxing. He has been through 100 trainers. He's been through 15 promoters. He's been, oh no, I'm sorry, that's Jesse Vargas.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Jesse Vargas.
Because I'm thinking Robert would kick Mikey in the ass if he hears something like that happen.
No. Jesse Vargas has been through so many trainers, so many promoters. He can move and go as he pleases. I think he'll move up to 154, and I think so too. That is what he'll do, to get another shot and another money fight. He always comes to fight. It was a good fight. He was actually up on the cards until he got knocked down, and then he just wasn't able to really get his legs back. But I had him up at the time like 4 or 5 rounds to 0, but once Mikey found the timing and his rhythm, it was all she wrote. Now, Mikey Garcia, he could definitely do whatever the hell he wants. He can go, he left Top Rank, and then he went to Payman, and then he went to Eddie Hearn. He's a hot commodity, so he doesn't have to sign like a long-term deal with anybody. They'll just do like a one-off with him because of the payback and the reward. Yeah. What he'll do next, he wants big fights. He's not looking for tune-up. He wants like multi-million-dollar fights with the big names, and he wants to dare to be great. So, I think he does want Pacquiao next, or like an Earl Spence. It's got to be, the risk has got to be a huge reward for him. And, he's not going to call out like a Terrence Crawford, but he is going to call out a Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao is a little vulnerable. He's gotten older. It'll probably be a more even fight. He's got a good chance of winning, and it would pay him millions and millions of dollars. So I think that's the direction Mikey's going to go in.
I think that's the fight that's going to take place. What do you think, Mike?
That's what I think should happen, and it's a good fight for both of them.
I see it happening, man, because you could just tell when Sean sent me a picture last night in the middle of the night and gave me a thumbs up for Richie, which I'm going to post later on. But when Sean doesn't comment too much on it, the ball's already spinning, the ball's already rolling.
He's like laughing at everything, and then next thing you know, it's announced. So I'll wait for that. But yeah, I think that's going to be the next thing as well.
No, that was a good call. Now, any chance you making the trip here to Fresno, California, May 9th to catch the Avenal Kid, Jose Ramirez, defend the WBO and the WBC Super Lightweight Championship of the World, rather?
No, I'm probably going to be back in Philly by that time. I have another date scheduled in June. So, if everything goes well, March 27th, which it should, I'll be right back in Philly in the middle of June. So I probably will not. I know I'm not making it to Fresno, but I will be watching.
That's an honest answer, but hey, I got to promote Jose Ramirez, man, who just continues to open doors, close doors on his opponents, and just sky's the limit, and the world is his, man, one day at a time. Yeah. Mike, you were at the press conference yesterday with Jose Ramirez where they officially announced his fight May 9th. What was your whole take on the press showing up, the questions that were asked, and just the whole atmosphere in general?
Well, it was good. Everybody shows up for Jose whenever. Right. Jose could say he's going to show up in the middle of Manchester, and people will probably show up and get autographs and take pictures with him. It's just what he draws. And, it was good to get finally the press conference announced officially. Yeah. And it was good to see the press there. Well, as you said, there's people coming from out of town that just came to see it, so that was pretty good. And, it's going to start driving it. I've already seen posts where people say they got the tickets and online posting everything up. So I'm looking forward to it as well.
Michelle, I got to ask you, what time is it right now? Are you in Philly right now?
I am. It's 9:30.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I got to make sure you get your beauty sleep. But there's so many questions that I want to ask you. Now,
It's okay.
now, as a young child or you yourself, did you ever put the gloves on? Did you ever want to compete?
No. I just loved watching boxing with my dad. I actually played softball in high school. He was also a baseball coach.
What
so
number did you
baseball
wear?
and Boxing.
What number did you wear in softball?
I was number 8.
Okay,
Kobe Bryant style. I was
Kobe.
number 8.
there you go.
hmm
So softball player, but you were athletic, and you just picked up the sport just from following dad and just
Yeah.
on the tube.
Yeah, I just loved boxing. He loved it. It's just something that stayed, with me even through all my college years. Like, I want to go watch the fights, and I'd invite all my college friends, and yeah.
I'm gonna name some Philly fighters, man, and just let me know the first thing that comes to mind. Okay, Danny Swift Garcia.
What am I supposed to say? I'm
Well,
sorry.
oh,
What
the
was
first thing,
that?
the first thing that comes to mind.
Danny Garcia.
Danny Swift Garcia. Welterweight, 147.
Left hook.
Okay,
Left hook.
Bernard Hopkins.
I think it's Tito Trinidad.
I was waiting for that one. You should have never asked that question.
There you go. Smoking Joe Frazier.
Oh, I should have said left hook for him. One of the greatest.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Okay, and how about how about Rocky Balboa?
Imaginary.
There you go. So have you made it up the steps? Did you do that run yet? That's on my bucket list, those steps in Philadelphia.
I did actually in October. Top Rank had the Vodsick Better Beef fight here, and we did some promo with one of their heavyweights, Sonny Conto from South Philly, with a radio station, and they had him running up and down the Rocky Stairs, and that was the first time I did it too.
The Rocky Stairs.
Yep. And Sonny, that's a hard puncher right there, man. That guy's a ticket seller too, from what I've been hearing.
Yeah, he is. South Philly heavyweight, Italian kid. Everybody loves him. Top Rank has had him fighting in the Philly area a lot, which is good because it's developing his fan base.
No, it is. And speaking of heavyweight, of course, I can't let you go without getting your take on Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. What did you think about that whole event? What did you think about PBC and Top Rank collaborating, making this happen? And what do you think about the trilogy that's supposed to occur July 18th, MGM Grand, Las Vegas, Nevada?
So I spoke to both sides of the promotion, and it seems like they worked really well together. Like usually you'll hear negative stuff, like, oh, they suck, and but both sides had like really good things to say about each other. So that made me hopeful for the future. All the guys at the top that had to work together, they did, and they got things done, and there was no egos, and so that was a really good sign. So if you're listening to the show, that's a good sign. Both sides said really good things about each other as far as like the operations and the logistics and just all that stuff that goes into putting on an event of that size. I did agree with Mark Breland stopping the fight when he did.
Definitely.
Only because Deontay was really getting whooped on. He was really getting beat up. It's not like his past fights where maybe he was down on the cards and you knew he could probably come back and knock the guy out. He was actually getting beat up by Tyson Fury this fight. It's not like he was just down on the cards because he was getting outboxed. He was down on the cards because he was getting an ass whooping. So I feel like Mark Breland did the right thing by saving him and stopping it when he did. I understand why Wilder was a little upset because he feels like he does have that equalizer.
Yeah.
He feels like he does have the eraser where any moment he can knock you out. But unfortunately, in that fight, he didn't have it. He didn't have no legs. He had no power. He had no equilibrium. He had no ring IQ. And he was just in really, really bad shape. So I agree with the stoppage.
Superman showed up, but Tyson Fury had the kryptonite with him. And it was just his
Yeah.
night, and he executed his game plan and did exactly what he said he would do. Now, the slate is all clean now. We're looking at July 18th. Is that too soon for Deontay Wilder to make this comeback, so to speak, and get back into the ring with Tyson Fury? A lot of people think so, but a lot of people think the timing is perfect.
No, the timing is perfect. If you look back in the day, like some of the heavyweight rematches, some of them took place like 3 months later.
Yeah.
You know, they were just more active back then. They stayed in the gym. And I think 5 months is more than enough time. I don't know how bad Deontay Wilder was cut. It sounded like he only needed a few stitches. Like, wasn't it just like 3 or 4,
Yeah, in the
5
ear.
stitches? It's not like he needed 80 stitches. So, you know, I don't think his cut was that bad. I don't think that Tyson left the ring with too many marks or cuts. So they should both be healthy. I mean, take a few weeks off and back in the gym.
Yeah.
Now, what about these allegations about the suit being too heavy, about Tyson Fury's gloves? I know it's silly, but I got to bring it up because the media is just running crazy with it. But I want to hear it from your side.
I feel like it's something that Deontay Wilder should have kept to himself. I feel like if that was really a reason why he didn't have legs or why he felt weak or why whatever, I feel like he should have kept that to himself. And I feel like the people around him should have told him, keep that to yourself. It was just
EPR,
such a bad look, such bad publicity. You know, just take the L, be a bigger person like he was in the ring afterwards, and leave it at that. He could have saved a lot of face. And instead, you know, the excuse about the outfit, whether it's true or not, he should have kept it to himself.
And then, to be fair, the one with the gloves, Wilder's never brought that up. It's just been people online that have come up with that. Wilder's not brought that up one time.
That's some like make-believe stuff.
Yeah,
that's some Inquirer stuff, man.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I mean, it is what it is. And no, we haven't really. There hasn't been any allegations that have surfaced. So until that happens, I mean,
And you've heard so many fighters say that the inspectors and everybody are in there at all times now because of what's happened before, that it's damn near impossible to pull that off.
well, and that's what I want to agree with. And Michelle, let me know if you agree with this. When an inspector signs a glove and he checks everything, you're not just insulting the glove. You're insulting the inspector and his whole team, as if to say, what, you overlooked it? You didn't do your job? Why are you there? You're not just there just to get in free like some other media that eat nachos all the time. But no, exactly.
Well, and the fighters also get to inspect these gloves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, after the weigh-in, and even the day of the fight, you know, each team sends a person into
Representative,
the
yeah.
other room to watch them wrap hands, to watch them glove up. So there was many times where they could have inspected these gloves, double-checked them, you know, make sure they hadn't been tampered with or switched. I mean, that's just negligence on their part then.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you're fishing for straws, and sometimes you're just looking for anything in the air just to pull down.
And there's
put the blade
cameras
on.
there's cameras back there 24/7. So you don't think they would have noticed
Yeah.
that somebody disappeared for a few minutes?
Absolutely.
And
there's an old quote from George Foreman when he got stopped by Muhammad Ali in Zaire. He said, fighters aren't honest. He goes, after a loss, they're looking for anything, just to grab, just for anything. And George Foreman is a very honest fighter. I'm sure you remember that famous quote of him being interviewed. I want to ask you, talking about being interviewed, how was that interview with the Yankees organization, or what was it, their channel that had you interviewed? Was it last night, I believe?
Yeah, I was in Connecticut the past
okay.
couple days. The Yes Network, which is the Yankees Network and Entertainment Channel, they have a show on there called Boxing 30 that airs once a week, and they wanted to bring me on to feature boxing moms and just talk about my journey and where I'm going, and it was really cool. It was really cool.
Let's talk a little bit about Boxing Moms. Those who don't know exactly what it stands for, or the meaning, or what you've been through, or what you're involved in, explain to the viewers, the fans, and the followers exactly what that means.
Boxing Moms is pretty much like a reality show. And what I'm doing is I want to follow these moms around because they have these compelling stories. And so much goes into a boxer's lifestyle and training camp and even on fight night. And their moms are so inspiring and heartwarming. And I want to show a different side where usually the trainer and the dad, they get most of the limelight and the spotlight. But it's really the mom who is like the unsung hero. And she's usually the most influential person in that camp. She is like one of the most critical elements in her son's life. She ends up being the nutritionist. She's selling tickets. She's hanging posters around town. She's his chauffeur. She's reading contracts. She's making sure he needs to be where he's got to be at the right time. I mean, the moms do a lot, and
Absolutely.
they're vulnerable, and there's real emotions there. It's an unforgivable sport. They're watching their son climb through the ropes, get hit in the head for a living. It's dangerous. It's scary. You know, there's a lot of heartbreak. There's a lot of triumph. There's a lot of struggle. There's violence. You know, boxing moms pack the punch, but it's going to tug at your heartstrings. So that's the side of boxing that I wanted to show. And through the moms, I think you'll get to know the boxers better.
I agree. I mean,
Yeah,
when you
it's a
said
good
that,
show.
I'm going to name some names. Manny Pacquiao. His
Yeah.
mom is all over the place
Yep.
when he's in the ring. I mean, she's praying, she's going through, I don't want to say the motions,
Doing
but
voodoo, everything.
exactly. We got a fire here in Stockton, California.
Yeah,
Gabriel Flores Jr., who lost his mom to
Yeah.
an accidental violence, or I don't know the whole details, but he dedicated his whole career to his mom, so she still inspires him today.
Yeah.
I mean, the gold medal, Oscar De La Hoya,
Yeah.
who wouldn't look at his opponent in the eyes, he would always look up at his mother. Although there was one fighter that he
yeah.
looked dead in the eyes, and that guy just kind of got underneath his skin. Was it Mayorga?
Mayorga.
You-
Yes.
You could have the most dangerous fighter in the world, and when you talk about his mom, he becomes a baby. He softens up. A lot of these moms, you know, a lot of these fighters come from single mother households. You know, it's not like all these boxers come from like this middle class, white collar family, you know, living in the suburbs. Like, no, boxing is inner city, gritty. You know, usually these fighters come from the hood where they were raised by their mom. Most of them didn't have a dad, you know, and the mom worked 2 or 3 jobs to make sure he got to the amateur tournament, to make sure he got to the nationals, to make sure he had boxing shoes and gloves and was paying his gym fees and getting him to the gym. You know, some of these moms still live in the project.
Yeah.
You know, they're not out yet. You know, the fighters don't make money until, God, 5 years into their career or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So, you know, they just juggle so much, and they become, sometimes they're the punching bag. You know, it's easy
Yeah.
to take things out on the mom. But, you know, most of these fighters, you'll hear them say, I need my mom with me. I need her in the back.
Yep. Exactly.
I hear her during my fight. I'm looking for her. You know, Terrence Crawford, his last fight in New York when he fought
Oh, in the
the
ring.
Machine,
Yeah, Mean Machine.
Pavlovskis, whatever. When he got in the ring, he didn't know where his mom was sitting, and he said to Red, the trainer Red, "Where's my mom?" Before the fight, he's looking
Yeah.
for his mom.
Exactly.
So that's why I really
Her well-being,
wanted
everything.
Yeah, so Boxing Moms is a passion project for me. I believe in the project. I'm looking for a partner. You know, I've reached out to some promoters and some networks to say, let's partner with this. Let's do this with your fighters' mothers. You know, it's intriguing. They're extraordinary. It's chaotic. It's a roller coaster. You know, so I'm just looking for the right partner.
Yeah, and that first episode, if you watch it, it's with the Adorno brothers' mother. That's a good episode right there. And those fighters can fight,
Yeah.
so it was really good.
No, I mean, she nailed it right there. I mean, your mother's your everything.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I mean, I still, you know, I remember being in the hospital and when you're going through all that pain, I was asking for my mama.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's-
plain and
that's what it
simple,
always is.
period.
It's the
No,
first thought.
hey, and any man that says no or anything, he's fooling himself, or unfortunately, he was probably raised without a mother. But no, a mama's everything.
Yeah,
Plain and simple,
always.
period. And you know, Andy Ruiz.
Oh, yeah.
What did he tell you? Say, Mom, we don't got to struggle anymore.
Exactly.
After that fight, first words he said, it was touching, it was moving, and I think what you're doing is great. I think you're just barely tipping the iceberg. This thing is going to blow up. I think somebody like Showtime need to pick this up and just run with it constantly, and just air it constantly, and let go behind closed doors in people's lives, and go dig, because mothers embrace. Mothers make it possible. They gave birth, and they still continue to feel those
they've
birth
raised-
pains. Absolutely.
They've raised these warriors.
Yes, they
you
have.
know, and these guys are a reflection of their
Canelo's
mother.
mama.
Oh, yeah.
Again, I know the trainer and the dad, when the dad's, you know, in the picture, I know they get a lot of props.
Yeah.
But really, these guys are a reflection of their mother. You talk to a boxer's mom, you'll understand, damn, she's strong.
Oh.
Damn, that's where he gets it from. You know, the
Yeah.
tenacity and the struggle and the dog in them. It's usually from their mother. I've had some mothers reach out to me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, like, thank you so much for doing this. Like, I don't feel alone.
You know what? I want to say something right now, and I'm going to bring this guy back up. We were talking about him in the top of the show. I want to say Rick Meridian. Whenever you mention his mom, he gets all warm inside. He gets almost teary-eyed. All he wants is his mom's approval to say, "I'm proud of you." That's why he works so hard, and that's why he's driven. And I talk about things that other people are afraid to talk about, and that is a fact. That is a fact. And his mom is his whole world. And as if to say top of the world, mom, because he keeps driving because of her.
And remember, last year, as he said, it was one of the first times he smiled in a while was when he did that in the ring for her.
Yeah, exactly,
So,
exactly. No,
Yeah.
I think what you're doing, that's a no-brainer, and you're gonna lift off. It's time just to. I mean, it needs to be someone like Showtime, man. I wasn't gonna say HBO, but someone like Showtime. Let them pick that up.
Sure, anyone needs to pick that up because that's a worthwhile viewing, and that's a good
I
story.
bet you it gets picked up.
Oh, it definitely.
I bet
will.
you it gets picked up by Showtime.
It gets picked up probably after the fight, after the Philly special.
You know,
It's
if
definitely
if
gonna
I
get picked
had-
up after this podcast.
If I had to pick a platform, me being totally unbiased, you know, I don't care if it's Top Rank, Golden Boy, PBC, whoever, but I do feel like it's a good fit on Showtime. Like, you know, if I had to pick, if I had a choice, you know, I'd probably like Showtime or ESPN Plus. Like, you know, the Top Rank fighters, they have a lot of good fighters, and a lot of their moms are really strong and intriguing. But so does Showtime. If you look at some of their fighters and you look at their moms, you're like, ooh, that would be really good. So I hope it does land
It is going
on
to land.
either or, but it does seem like a good fit on Showtime, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
It does. Mike,
Yeah.
let her know, because if I say it, I'm going to sound biased. Something about the Fighter's Voice podcast, something about guests that come on the show. Michelle, we call things as if they're not, as if they are, just like the Bible says. And we've had people on the show with no sponsors. The minute they get off the show, sponsors like crazy. We have people on the show that says, hopefully I'll get a shot at the title. They get a shot at the title. Next thing you know, they're heavyweight champion of the world. And I'm talking about Andrew Ruiz.
We had Joseph Diaz a little bit before his fight. We talked to him, and he said he was going to be a world champion. And hey, what do you know? He became a world champion.
Well, we
So,
got a good track record, and you're no different. You know, our show's no respecter of persons, just like, you know, beans, rice, and Jesus Christ all day long, man. And I see it happening. Showtime's a great fit.
No, that'll be perfect on there. And then especially because on Showtime, they don't have to be censored. They could say what they want to say. They don't have to worry about if it's on
Keeping
cable
it
TV
real.
and being like, oh, you know, I can't say that word. No, on Showtime, you're able to say what you want to say.
Keeping it real, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to name some names to you. Again, we're going to play this game right here. Now, I'm going to put you with the rest of them. And if I miss any of these names, ladies, please forgive me. Michelle Phelps.
She is a go-getter. She's a go-getter. I met Michelle, oh my God, probably like 6 or 7 years ago when I was doing a Rage and Bait brunch in Las Vegas, and I invited her. And to see where she is today, it's like, wow. Because in the beginning, this business will tear you apart, especially as a woman, when you're new as a woman. It's really hard to get through those first, like, 2-3 years. Like, every night you want to quit. Every day you're being called a groupie. Every day people are saying this about you, that about you. You're ugly, you're fat, you sleep around. I mean, the first 2 or 3 years is really hard. And they always say, if you can make it past 3 years, you got a good shot. And she did. And she's got a huge following in the UK. She travels all over the country, all over the world. She's gotten really good gigs. She's gotten much sharper since when she first started out. I give her mad respect.
Yeah, I always tell people
I
she's
agree
the
with
one
you.
that gave me my start in this, so I'm always indebted to her forever because of that.
Here's another name, Christina Pacher.
I love her. She is the best of the best right now. She went to school for broadcasting.
Future
she
Hall
didn't
of
just
Famer.
pick up a microphone and say, oh, I want to be on TV. Okay, she went to school for this. She paid her dues. She worked internships. She got with Top Rank almost 10 years ago, started at the very, very bottom, has worked her way all the way to the top. She has also had some days and nights where, what am I doing? Can I do this? When am I going to get my shot? And I just said, stick with it. Your time is coming. You're going to break out. And now she's, the lead commentary on ESPN Plus. She's calling all the shows live. She is just awesome. Yeah. I actually look up to her. I admire her. During this entire journey of hers, she was able to get married.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My voice is all. She got married.
She got married.
She had a baby. She got a promotion. She's now like a lead broadcaster. I mean, what she has done. I mean, as a woman, I look up to her like, damn, girl. Like, she gives me hope that I can maybe one day find that same balance.
Exactly, and very, very well said.
And she needs to be on the actual main broadcast for that Wilder Fury 3. She shouldn't be on the undercard. She needs to be on there.
You know what? She better be, because, you know, I felt that she was definitely slighted, you know, on the rematch. And I felt like she should have been on there. Heyman had his girl, and I felt like ESPN should have used their girl.
Yeah. Be represented.
And it's not just about using a girl or a guy, but like it just
put the
made
best
it
on
a
there.
little more equal.
Yeah.
I think it would have been just more fair. And Christina shuts it down. She deserves to be on the next one.
Yeah, they need to put the best of the best on there. That's the whole purpose of it.
Definitely.
Yep.
How about Nancy?
And look, I get it. Max Kellerman is a name. Mark Kriegel is a name. Like, I get it, but Conker has earned it.
Yeah.
I believe so. Now, what about Nancy from Supreme Boxing? Or was it Boxing Supreme?
Boxing Supreme.
Yeah, Boxing Supreme. I don't want to get it wrong, because she'll kick my butt, and she will too. I seen her in Vegas, and she's getting ready to swing at me because I took a picture with her, and I didn't let her do her hair.
Nancy, she has a heart of gold, and I think she ended up in the right place. You know, she started out working with fighters. She was like their publicist. She was like their marketing manager. And then she started, the Supreme Boxing, which does really well. But once she got with the WBC, I think she really found her thing. Mm-hmm. She loves giving back. She loves helping people. She loves seeing the good in fighters. And I just think this is her niche. I think she landed at the right spot.
And her and Mauricio Sulaiman, they get along great. They do. And, he's always looking for her, like, okay, where's Nancy? She's her to-go guy person.
Yep.
Yes,
Listen,
she does.
Let me tell you something. Most promoters, sanctioning bodies, managers, they always have a woman working for them. Mm-hmm. That's no coincidence. Like, Golden Boy, at one time, like, their whole staff was women. Okay? Yeah. Bob Arum has a lot of women working for him. Al Heyman, his right-hand man, Sylvia, is a woman. Drew DeBella's right hand is Meredith, a woman. Russell Peltz, all these years in Philly, women. And we're more organized. We get shit done. We'll get it done right away. We don't procrastinate. We don't put things off. Like, we hold it together. And so Mauricio, and even the WBO in Puerto Rico, they have women. So we're there. We're the ones that make the engine go. So Oscar, Al Heyman, Bob Arum, DeBella, Eddie Hearn, they get the limelight. They're on the camera, they're in the ring. But behind them is like an army of women who make that shit go.
Yep.
Plain and simple, period.
And look at one of the other top promotions in the world, or in the U.S., main events. That's all women.
Yeah,
there you are.
Exactly.
There you are. I have one other one. Of course, we're going to say Goosen, but I do want to touch on Callie Swanson.
Did I lose you?
No, we're right here. I mentioned Callie Swanson. What's your whole take when you hear the name Callie?
Callie was one of the first women that really did embrace me early on. It was probably like my second year in boxing, and I decided to do a Raging Babe brunch. And the guys at Mayweather Promotions heard about it, and they wanted in on it. And that's how I first met Kelly. And I have an enormous amount of respect for her too. I mean, she works with like the top boxers,
Absolutely.
you know, in our sport. And look, it's not easy representing Floyd Mayweather. I mean, the hate that he gets, the backlash that he gets, you know, sometimes he got wrapped up in dumb stuff and she'd have to clean it up. And man, she's the top and the best at what she does. I mean, if we're talking about boxing PR and
Yes.
publicists, tell me another publicist who's better than Kelly Swanson in the game.
I really can't name one right now. Kelly,
And I
gets it
and
done.
I say that respectfully. You know, I'm not trying to say, oh, nobody else is good.
Yeah.
She's the best at what she does.
Yep.
She's the best, period, if you want to break it down, male or female. But I want to mention these names because, like I said, my daughter is a female. My daughter is a woman. And I always tell her, I said, baby girl, you staying in the kitchen, those days are over. Men can cook. I wash clothes. I fold my own clothes. I wash delicates. I don't let anybody touch my stuff because I don't want it all jacked up. I don't want my shirt being washed with towels. So I can fend for myself. But as far as, okay, walk behind a man or walk in front, no, you walk side by side with him because it's
Yeah.
50-50. And anybody that says anything different, they're just ignorant. They're stuck on some old ways. Listen, it's late. It's in Philadelphia. It's been an honor. It's been a pleasure to have you on the show. I mean, I'm going to hit up Nancy now because I'm going to say, Nancy, okay, you're the missing link who hasn't been on the show yet. We've had Christina Patra on the show twice. We've had Kelly Swanson, and we've had Michelle Phelps back when we were a radio show. And now to have you, and just to complete this, because we want to have the best of the best. And trust me when I say this. You are going to get the call, or you are going to have that meeting, but Showtime will pick up, and that will be your platform. And the moms of boxing, it's just going to take off and skyrocket. You're going to get a whole long list. You're going to be booked over a year. Trust me.
Well, I hope so. God is good.
Yes.
All the time.
Yep.
All the time. Anything you got to say to Fresno, California, who watches you and follows you and sometimes tags you on Twitter? Because I've watched those back and forth tags, and it's pretty entertaining. And you seem to just, say it the way it is, and they'll kind of back off.
I roll with it.
Yeah.
I roll with it these days. I'd just like to say, if you can, March 27th, tune into the Philly Special on the Impact Network. I want good ratings. I want them to want to bring me back. I'm a middle-class promoter. In boxing right now, there's a lot of the guys up top. There's a lot of haves and have-nots. And I'm representing for the middle class. I'm the middle-class promoter
There you are.
quote-unquote middle-class fighters that deserve to be seen and go to the next level in their careers, but they just don't have the platform. So please, please, please tune in. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 6 p.m. in Fresno,
Yep.
the network channel. Check your local listings, download their app, or you can just watch it on their website. Please tune in. Help me out so I can get another date.
Definitely will.
There you are. There you are. Hey, like I said, I appreciate you and continue to follow you. And those that haven't followed you, where can they keep in contact with you? How can they follow you?
All of my social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, @Raging Babe.
There you are. We appreciate your time and appreciate you being our Raging Babe here in Fresno, California in the Fighter's Voice Knockout Podcast. And it's a wrap here, and we'll be talking to you soon. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you. It's a lot of fun. Thanks, guys.
It's been a pleasure having you.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Mike, my man, you were not joking around when you
Told
said,
you.
Richard, this is a bad mama jamma. She doesn't take nothing. She's driven. I did my research, and I watched some of her videos, and a lot of her, followed her as such, but to get in depth with her, she is just full of energy. She doesn't take no for an answer. She'll make your no into a maybe, to a okay, let's see, to a yes, it's a done deal.
So, hey, I need to do something. Got you. That's how she is.
Exactly.
She's a beast, man. I told
Exactly. I bet you Showtime's pick it up.
you. Someone's going to pick that up quickly.
Yeah, exactly. And, we're going to take a small little break here, but when we got coming up next, 559 Fights, Jeremy Luchau, we're talking about promotion, is taking over this area when it comes to amateur MMA, and not just amateurs, but professional MMA. He's well equipped with the management company, and he's making it happen. He has another great show coming this Friday, Visalia, California, making it happen. I believe, are you guys fighting each other? Do we have two guys that are fighting each other? Okay. Jeremy, really, dude? How the hell you going to make this happen right here, bro? Am I supposed to get in the middle? Because I could do some one-on-one stuff. We can make it happen. Jeremy, he just says, Richard, I know the fighter's voice is the only voice that matters, and you guys continue to knock out the competition, And he just said, here. He didn't give me no memo, didn't give me no to-do list or how to get it done. We just get it done, my man.
That's how it is.
Exactly. So we're going to be coming right back, and we're going to be welcoming our guests. Right now, we'll be coming back in about 2 to 3, maybe 4 minutes. So tune in, and we got some MMA fighters. They're going to be the main event of the evening, and hopefully they'll get down that Friday and not here in the Fighters Voice studio. But if they do, it's good PR, man. It'll be real good.
As ZZ used to say, all press is good press.
It is too. No, but they're professional what they do.
Definitely.
They know, once that bell rings, that's when they're going to take care of business. But you never know. We'll keep you in suspense. We're going to take a small break and come right back.
competition, the Fighters Voice.
Fresno, California, we're back. And you know what? This is the part of the show where we welcome you back to the show. And we're going to talk about this big, giant co-main event that's taking place in Visalia, California. 559 fights. Once again, I don't want to say taking over Fresno. They have Fresno in the palm of their hand, and they're making it happen. They have Visalia. They're moving places. They're making it happen. Jeremy Luchau, he's making it happen, putting together these events. And today, with us in studio, I have with us my man, Marquise. Marcus or what?
Marcus. Yes.
Like Marcus from Boomerang, remember that?
Yeah. You could throw it back to that if you want to.
Yeah.
Marcus Blevins.
Marcus Blevins. And at 185, you're taking on my man who's sitting right next to me, and that's Velasquez, Jared Velasquez. I can't act like, we went to school together, and I know you guys all perfectly right here, man, but we're going to make this happen, man. You guys are getting it on this Friday by Celia, California. 185 pounds, 5'9", making it happen once again, March 13th, and we're going to be giving away a pair of tickets. Those of you that can tell me something later on in the show, I'm going to let you know exactly what I'm asking for. But let's start with you first, Marcus. What got you involved in MMA, and what are we going to see from you when that door closes this Friday in Visalia, California?
First off, actually, MMA, I had a buddy back in high school friends. We've been friends for about 20 years now. And he was really heavy in the
Let's
MMA.
give a shout out to your friend. Who is that?
His name is Joseph Warnock. Joseph Warnock. He might be watching right now, so shout out to Joseph.
What's up, Joseph?
And he ended up getting involved at the gym I'm at now, Valley Fight Club. And so that's in Hanford off 10th and Lacey. Shout out to VSC, Valley Fight Club.
That's right.
So he ended up going there training and enticed me to do it, bugged me for weeks.
Yeah.
And I had no interest. And so eventually I ended up going, competed a few months later in a smoker. They don't do smokers anymore. But
right.
A few years back, it was cool to do smokers back in the gym. Did that, had some success, but realized I had a lot of work to go.
Yeah.
Ended up staying with it, did some boxing, did Muay Thai, and then I finally transitioned over to MMA, which I splashed in MMA last year, matter of fact. So this will be my fourth fight with Jared, my first time on 559 fights.
Won't be your last, man.
No, definitely not. So that's what I got going on right now, and trying to keep the steam rolling with it, make it a spectators event. Make sure it's something that people are happy about spending their money to see and taking their time to see us put on the show.
Well, Mike Moreno's a great matchmaker. I believe he's your matchmaker for this event too, and he puts together evenly matches, man. So he knows exactly what he's doing. It's for the fans, it's for the public, and they get their money's worth. And you as fighters, you learn a lot from your opponent. No matter how the fight goes, I mean, they're very well even, very well organized. I got to ask you the same thing, Jared. What got you involved in MMA before we get to the nitty-gritty Friday night?
Well, what got me into MMA was probably being a football player, and then that coming to an end, and then just being like,
What town did you play in? Where were you at?
I played in Orange Cove in high school.
Okay.
And then played Reedley College.
559 just came from Orange Cove, their last event, right?
That's where it was.
Okay,
was,
there you go.
The
That's
main
right.
event right there. And it was crazy. It was like, it was a dream come true, pretty much.
That's right, man.
Yeah.
So okay, is this one for a strap? Is this for the 559 belt?
This is for the state belt.
The state belt.
It's like, it got even bigger.
Yeah, that's beyond. Okay, yeah. Jeremy keeps continuing to pull rabbits out of his hat and make it happen, man. I mean, he gets the call all the time. He runs with it, and I appreciate him entrusting me with you two guys here tonight. What he should have done was bring that belt over here, but I know, the state belt, man, it'll be presented that day. It's kind of like the belt with diamonds, like the winner of Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather when they fought that night. That belt had diamonds on it, man. Listen. This man's right across from you, and you're still able to keep your professionalism, conduct this interview, but I can see it in you. I can feel something in you, honestly, that you just can't wait for that first bell to ring, man. How do you keep your composure leading up and knowing you're just days away from just letting those hands go? But how do you keep your composure knowing that you're just, your opponent's sitting right across from you?
I want to be professional,
Absolutely.
This is
some
how
PR,
it's going.
man.
Yeah. This is
promotion,
the path, and everything that's going, it just keeps getting better and better. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. And I respect my opponent always, and but we're ready.
There you go. You heard your opponent say that he respects you and he understands that this is part of the journey. This is part of the PR. This is part of the promotion leading up to that big event. The same question for you, because I saw you guys, and you guys were sitting pitted next to each other. You weren't like talking and texting each other, but you had that respect, and we have a job to do come Friday, and we're trying to advance our career. But for right now, we're going to do everything necessary to make sure that event lives up to its hype, and that's the promotion, that's the PR work. But I know, because I can feel the vibe already, I can. Let down that wall and let us know what's going to happen Friday night when you step into that cage, Marquise.
Well, first and foremost, I want to reciprocate the respect because,
Okay.
like I said, we're at the amateur level, but
Right.
we're preparing ourselves to be at the professional level and conduct ourselves accordingly. So, mutual respect back to Jared. Jared has been a mainstay in 559 fights. I've actually been watching him for a while. He's been doing MMA longer than me.
Yeah.
This will be my 11th fight, and I've always had the same mindset. I prepare in the gym. I do everything that's necessary to get me ready for the fight. And we have a date, and we have a contract signed. So it's really no reason to sit here and have that unnecessary animosity. I don't need to
I
hype
agree.
myself up and say, oh, man, I'm going to eat this man's children. I don't want to do any of that crazy
Yeah.
stuff. Because come Friday night at whatever time our fight happens, we're going to fight. And, it's going to be all laid out there. And I think he has that same mentality. I respect it. We're going to leave it all in there. I have every ambition, every intention to walk out victorious with that belt, and I'm sure he does too. And that's going to make for a spectacular fight to see. Who's going to come out on top, who knows? But I believe in myself, and I believe I should have all the tools of training needed to get it done. So that's why I'm gonna leave it. Friday, no animosity, nothing ill to say.
Yeah.
But just like I know he's gonna do it, he's gonna bring 100%. I'm gonna bring 100%, and we're gonna clash.
Hearing his response and hearing the respect that he's giving you, and the experience that you have, is this bout different? And what have you done differently to prepare yourself for Friday night in Visalia, California?
I think I'm just progressing and peaking, and I feel like everything is coming together real nicely, and things are like clicking. It's like a language, and you just see it, like the blocks that you started out with, they just start falling, and then it gets easier, and it's natural. It comes natural, and both of our styles. But either way that it goes, it's gonna be a crazy fight, and I think that Jeremy putting it together was it's gonna be one of the best cards I know, because me and him, we're gonna go hard, and then my teammate is the main event. He's going like another level.
Let's talk about your teammate. Who's your teammate?
Kel Mountain,
Okay.
out of 7th Generation Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay.
Both these fights it's gonna be crazy. Like, I never seen a card of 559 fights like this, and it's gonna be sold out.
Talk to us about that phone call you got when Jeremy called and said, hey, you're going to come on this show right here, and you're going to be coming on the same day as your opponent. What was going through your mindset when you heard that?
Well, he didn't say that we were going to be face-to-face, but, I mean, once he gave me that text right now, I was like, all right, then, well.
Oh, it was kind of a last minute thing. A little bit of feedback on the mic. But was it kind of a last minute? You didn't know that you knew you were going to be on the show, but you didn't know who was going to assist you on the show?
Mm-hmm. Well, when I heard that I was coming on, I was excited. I've heard of you guys, and I've seen, you guys interviewing most of the people that I see.
Well, now we're interviewing you, my man.
That's right, and I feel, very honored. Want to stay humble, but, man, things are happening, and it's good to see. God is really great. It's really great.
That's right, man. I mean, take the blessings, receive it all, my brother. Same question to you, man. You're chilling. Jeremy says you're going to be on the Fighter's Voice Knockout podcast. Did you think your opponent was going to come on the same time and you'd be sitting across from him like you are right now?
You know what? No, not necessarily. I was on the way, and he sends me a message. Hey, man, you still making it? Yeah, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna do what I say. And so he's like, yeah, it's just gonna be you and your opponent. So, and I'm already like about 10 minutes out. So I'm playing in my head.
Did you chuckle a little bit?
I did, just like I did right now. That's
Yeah.
how I chuckled, and I didn't think too much of it. Like I said, I know Jared. This is the first time I'm actually meeting him.
Yeah.
So I figured he'd carry himself as a professional, but I actually have never had a fight though where I've had any like real growing animosity coming
Right.
to the fight, except for one opponent. He was actually on your show at one time, but I won't mention it. But me and him were supposed to clash. Things didn't happen.
Well, how long ago was it? Mike, I'm going to recap that. I'm going to rewind that. I'm going to look for every 185-pounder and see if I can find this guy.
It was actually a boxing match. It was a boxing match.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I won't give him no extra plug time.
Okay, that's cool. I
won't
heard
mention
that.
it. I'll let you
I heard
look
that.
into it.
Yeah.
But anyhow, Yeah, so outside of that one matchup that really had like some animosity, it
Yeah.
was really brewing just between me and him. It's always been, real on the up and up, real chill. But like I said, Jeremy Smart, he knew what he was doing when he matched this fight up.
Yeah.
And he looked at our styles. We have similar styles. Me and Jerry, we like to throw. We like to get in there and exchange and get gritty, look for openings and let hands fly. So with that, there's going to be a lot of times where, it might be an exchange right in the middle. We might be looking to try to get inside. There's probably going to be a lot of right hands thrown. I know just from looking at him how I like to fight. So it's going to be it's going to be a high risk fight, and but I like that though because I'm a fan of the sport too. I'm one of those cats. If I'm not on the court, I like to sit in the crowd and watch it. Man, that was a damn good fight, man.
Yeah.
The dude's made it happen, and I think Jeremy knows that this fight has all the elements for that. On top of it being for a state title, so it just adds to the storyline and adds to that element of like, man, this fight deserves to be the co-main. And I plan to come in there and bring all those elements to that fight, just like he put me on the court to do. And I'm sure he does too. So yeah, man, and also just being on the Fighter's Voice, like you said earlier in the show, man, things happen once you're on the Fighter's Voice. I've seen a lot of guys come in. Enoch McCordial, out of Kalinga. He's
My
been on,
man.
Yeah.
He keeps talking to us about this burger place we're supposed to go hit up, like the Ultimate Pickle Burger or something.
Yeah,
I don't know exactly what it's called.
It's in Kalinga. I know exactly what it's called too, but yeah, people swear by that place out there. He's been on the show.
He was on when Andy Reese was on. Andy Reese was on a telephone call. A little bit of feedback. Andy Reese was on, who's the heavyweight champion of the world.
Yeah.
He got to ask him a question before he beat Anthony Joshua.
Yes, sir.
Before he knocked him out.
Yeah. And so, I've watched the podcast for a while now. It's big things happen on the podcast,
Yes,
so I'm super excited to be on here. It seems like, like I said, I debuted in MMA last year. So it's not one of those things like, man, this is a long time coming.
Right.
But I've been competing for a while, so to finally be on the Fighter's Voice and get to have this exchange and this platform is a big deal. Like, again, I want to say shout out to my team too. Two guys from my gym, Ryan Ballin and Denzel Rosa. My buddy right here, he's not on camera, but Sterling Ingram. We all have a solid team of guys, and we get to all feature on 559 Fights this Friday. So I'm super excited. I think our time is coming, and 2020 is probably going to be our breakout year. I would bet on it.
Win, lose, or draw for both of you guys. I mean, the amateur is exactly what it is. It's all learning until we get to that big show, until we get to that where we all want to be at the professional level. Listening to your opponent, and he has done some research, so to speak, on you. He's had his eye on you. He's been watching you. So there's nothing new. I mean, it ain't like, okay, you're probably meeting him today. I don't know what your relationship is. But my man said, no, I've watched him. I've studied him. Because every 185-pounder should be watching every other 185-pounder or 10 pounds below or 10 pounds above him. That's a person that knows our paths are going to cross. What are you going to do to change anything about you, or are you going to bring exactly what he's looking for? Because he's had his eye on you. Do you plan on, now knowing this, changing your style at all, or are you just going to come forward and march to your band?
Well, I'm ready for anything, but it's gonna be a fans fight. It's gonna be beautiful, beautiful violence. But I feel a lot more well-rounded now, and ready for whatever it comes to, and that's just.
So you're ready to make that transition. You're ready to change up styles if need be. You're just ready all the way around for this Friday, Visalia, California, 559 Fights.
Yeah, my team has got me ready. Experience has got me ready, and it's fun. It's fun these days. Everything is it's just exciting.
If things go your way Friday, and you're victorious, what are you going to do with your bout that night, man? Are you going to party with it on your shoulder? Are you going to sleep with it like Daniel Cormier did? I mean, you got to vision it. You got to bring things to life. How do you see yourself responding once you have that belt around your shoulder or your waist?
It's the start, I think. So if I get it, then I'm going to be so happy because, it's the best of California. Like California.
That's right.
It's people, think
Cali, they recognize you're in the books.
Yeah, and if we're the best in California, then I'm feeling good right now. But if I do win, it is the start because this is my life now, and I see that, and just gonna get ready for the next one.
There you go. There you go, man. I'm sure you talked about victory, being victorious. Do you vision yourself with that belt? And the same question to you too, because a lot of people they do some things and they've earned it. Some people have slept with it. Some people have just worn it, not taking it off, and just you got to vision yourself with that. What exactly are you going to do if you're awarded that belt by being victorious Friday?
Yeah, I'm probably going to take it out to eat. I'm going to give it a kiss. You know, I'm
That's
going to
right.
hug it. I'm going to let
That's
my
right.
friends hold it. We'll take some pictures.
That's right.
And I'll probably parade it around for a couple of days, and then afterwards I'm going to take it home to the gym and put it up in our case. Really, like with me, I've had the opportunity to win a championship before in boxing, and UCA boxing actually, and that was a great feeling.
Yeah.
But immediately after, it's kind of like Jerry said, you okay, that's accomplished now. Now what's the next step?
Exactly.
So I move forward. So, you know, that would end up being the Jim's belt, a team accomplishment, because the team builds me, and I'm a reflection of the team, I'm an extension of the team. So that would go back home to the gym and to sit there, you know, so everybody who came from the club to support us, anybody who wants to see what we're about and see what type of success is produced from our hard work,
Yeah.
it'll be right there in that shadow box and until it's time for me to pull it out and defend it again. But yeah, definitely first, if it happens, you know, I'm victorious, I raise that hand. It probably is going to be in the middle of the bed with me too. Maybe in the shower.
Exactly. Hey, man, I'm hearing you, man. Here's the thing. I'm going to ask a couple questions, but I want to make sure I ask this right now, and I only got room for one. Whoever is victorious this Friday, I got to have you back on the show either that Tuesday or that Wednesday, and you got to bring that belt here on the Fighter's Voice. We're going to sit down and talk about what it took to win, how we regrouped, and we're going to be healing along the way, but I can only have one. So being that said, what message do you have directly across from me for your opponent? Anything. It has to be something that's on your mind. I'm giving you the time to look your opponent in the eyes. What message do you want to leave with him?
Just that. I don't know. It's gonna be fun. I know it's gonna be fun. Whether we really destroy each other, however it comes, it's gonna be the next day. Is gonna be we're gonna be sore, but it's gonna be an event. People are gonna remember it. So that's about it.
Being that hurt from your opponent, like I said, the winner, I got to bring him back on the show. Got to bring that bout. I got to give you the whole show. We got to kick back. We got to feature. We got to talk about the event itself, the future events. We got to heal properly. But this man is going to be standing across from you. What, not advice, what message do you want to send him? What do you want to leave him with after this show?
Well, basically, like I said, this is, I feel like every fight is could be the end all. So I approach that fight as such. This is a culmination of everything I've been working for. And I plan to go in there and make it exciting, make it a grinding fight and be victorious. I know you do too. And that actually is going to, put us in position to have a very compelling, exciting fight. Like I said, I envision myself with a belt. I know you do too. We'll go in there and bring it 100%, and make it be a showstopper. Make it be still the show. You know what I mean? I know your boy is the main event, but let's make the co-main event the main event. That's my intention, and I'm ready to leave it all on the line on Friday when we do this. So let's get it, man.
It will be showstopper. That's what I know.
Yeah. I'm hearing this, and KP, when they first came in here, they were getting ready just to shake hands and we could play some checkers. But these combatants right now, they're ready to give a fist bump, and they're ready to play some chess, man. I can feel it, and it's selling itself. Once again, Jeremy is a genius by putting this together. He knew exactly where to bring you guys on the only podcast that's simply knocking out the competition. The hottest podcast in this valley. We're making it happen. The winner's going to be here on the show, on the set, going to bring that state title with you in studio. We're going to make it happen, and we're going to drag Jeremy's ass to studio too, because we got to get him on there. I want his take on how he's putting things together. And first of all, I want to congratulate both of you ahead of time for just sitting across from each other, being professional, and just answering the questions accordingly, making it happen. Save your energy for Friday. I wish you both well. I wish both of you nothing but success and blessings. Both of you guys will be in my prayers this evening. And hey, may the best man win. And ladies and gentlemen, only on the Fighter's Voice do we make things happen. They give us an opportunity, they give us a platform, and we make things happen. 559 Fights, very well organized. It is a platform, it is a springboard to success. I suggest if you're in the amateurs and you want to start your MMA career, you come and you get a hold of the whole staff at 559 Fights. They're very professional, they very fair, they make things happen, and most of all, they give you the opportunity and they dare you to be great. Just like these two gentlemen that I have from the left and to the right. They dare to be great. They showed up together, but there could only be one winner. And come next Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm not sure, because there may be some healing process, or they may just want to say, you know what, I'm going to take that Tuesday off. I'll see you Wednesday on the show with my co-host with the most, the UFC veteran himself, the Apache Kid, Coe Escovedo. The winner will be here on the Fighter's Voice Knockout Podcast. Bring the strap with them. Bring the promoter with them, Jeremy. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, we want to bring you and give you the best. But it's going to take this. We need you to subscribe. Subscribe to watch live. That's the Fighter's Voice. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's www.youtube.com/thefightersvoice. That's www.youtube.com/thefightersvoice. I'm going to give out a pair of tickets to 559 Fights. That's happening this Friday in Visalia, California. You got some research to do. I want you to dig down. I want you to find out. My co-host, Mike Rutha, okay, that's his name, Mike Rutha from Fresno, California. I want you to tell me, what middle school did he attend? The first one to inbox me with that information, no family involved, because they're excluded, will win that pair of tickets. Give me your name. I'll put it at the call window. You will be there at the event. Unfortunately, Friday I'm going to be in Stockton, California, handling Toscano's boxing promotions. We're going to be live in Stockton, California, Saturday at McKinley Park. 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock, we're going to be interviewing the fighters. It's media day. And of course, I'm going to be sitting down with Shali Hollis, my man. KP will be there, Mike will be there, Cole will be there. And the main event of that evening will be there, Mr. Kilo the Kid Madera, who's putting 209 back up on the map. You got to be there this Saturday, McKinley Park, Stockton, California. But we got to send somebody down Friday night, and I'm kind of feeling Coe Escovedo fits the hashtag himself being there. We got to get that content and coverage. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your time. Appreciate everybody on the show. Appreciate these combatants. And as always, it's a wrap here, Fresno, California. Thumbs up for Richie.
Never down for the count. It's just another wrap. Thanks for listening to the Fighter's Voice Radio Show. Catch us again next week.
Same when, same how.
And always stay connected to the Fighter's Voice on social media. So, on behalf of special guests and the whole crew right here at the Fighter's Voice Radio Show, saying see ya next week, right here on the Fighter's Voice.